Okay,
It's all here. Oh.
what's,
Which one?
pull this down here. Okay, who knows what this note is? Right there.
B.
B, you are right. Oops. It is a B. And what is this one?
D. D.
That's right, that's a D. What's the next one?
H.
H? Does anyone disagree with him over?
I don't think it's H. It's G.
What'd you say?
G.
There you go. And this one?
D.
Yeah, D for dog. What's this one?
B.
Yep. What's this one?
F.
Yep. And what's that one?
A.
Good, I guess that one.
E. Is it A? No.
Okay, who wants to vote A and who votes A? Raise your hand. Who votes E? E's have it.
Yeah. I wrote that
Oh,
one.
I guess that one too.
All right. How about this one? A. You are absolutely correct. All right. Now we're in the bass clef. What's this note in bass clef? G. Correct. And this note here?
A.
Yep. How about this one?
C.
C. How about that one?
B.
E.
Yeah. How about this low note here?
B.
Yeah. How about that one?
G.
Yeah. That one?
F.
Yeah. And this one?
C.
C. That's right. Okay, so that's what you should have had. So, and I will tell you that it's probably best to memorize every one of these. So, what are all the lines in the treble clef?
Every boy does
Yes, E, G, B, D, F.
that. FAC.
For what?
I don't know.
What is FAC?
Spaces in trouble.
Spaces and treble. That's right. The spaces.
The other four.
Yes, the spaces. Okay. How about bass clef? What are the lines in the bass clef?
Great big dogs fight animals.
No.
Right.
That's in it.
Boys
Good.
do some fine always.
Good boys do fine always is the way I was taught.
Great big dogs fight animals.
Okay, that's fine. You can have whatever memory hook you want.
Spaces, cows, all cows eat grass.
Okay, all cows eat grass.
What did you say?
All
All cars eat gas.
I accidentally said that.
Did you have what?
All cows emit gas.
Emit.
Emit gas. There we go. Yes, yes, and that's greenhouse, right? It's not just any gas, it's a greenhouse gas. Okay, very good. All right. Yes. Okay,
They have a little potty.
let's go to our next one. What does the key of G look like? How many sharps? First off, how many sharps is it?
One sharp.
One sharp. And where do the sharps go?
On the F. F.
Top F.
Top F.
In the
Okay.
treble clef, it's on the F, which is by the dots. Studied. Just saying.
And that is correct. Now, before class, I had someone ask, do they always stack in a certain order? Is there any rhyme or reason? And the answer is yes, they always stack in a certain order. You always, on your treble clef, you always start with the F for the first one, and then you just stack them in a particular order. Same with your lower. Yes, ma'am?
Don't sharps always start on F and flats always start on B?
Yes.
Just make sure.
If you pull your circle of fifths,
You're about to confuse me.
if you look at your circle of fifths, you'll see how that does. I have extra circle of fifths if you didn't bring yours. But if you look at the circle of fifths, which you probably can't see this on the video, you'll see that they just stack in a certain order. And your flats go this way, sharps go that way. Anyone need it? I've got extra circle of fifths if anyone needs one.
I forgot my paper.
You bet.
Amber, you get 1 point today. So.
You can't be failing already. Probably.
There you go. Paul, did you want a circle of fifths over there?
Sure.
Give him a circle of fifths. Okay.
Does this make sense to me?
All right. Let's go to the next one. The next one is a D flat. So first off, in D flat, how many?
Flop.
5 what?
Flats.
Yes, that's good. That's almost a freebie to say D flat. Okay, 5 flats. Where does the? I'm gonna add.
B.
Yes.
And then E. Hey, it's my time.
Nine.
Okay, where's the next flat go?
E. I'm just gonna steal it.
Okay, where's the next flat go?
J.
A.
I wrote it.
All right.
Wrong.
Where's the next flat
You
go?
did? No, I said
And
G. G.
G.
yes.
You didn't.
And I know this. I'm not the best drawer, but you can see there's kind of an order how they stack on. Okay. Okay. Next one is A. How many what?
3 sharps.
3 sharps. That's right. So, where do our 3 sharps go?
F.
Yep.
C.
Yep.
G.
Yep.
Yay.
And down here, which line? I can't remember which line is the F. Where would that be in the base?
Between the dots.
Yes, that's very good. It is between the 2 dots on the signature over here. So I guess, is that which line might that be?
What?
Second from the top.
Second from the top, that's right. Okay, and then it's the same pattern. Okay, like that. Okay, next one, key of F. How many sharps or flats is the key of F?
1 flat.
1 flat. And where is that flat?
On B.
On B, you're right. Okay, B and on.
I just memorized that F is 1 flat and I don't know the reason.
Okay, key of E.
4 sharps.
4 sharps. Wow, you
I worked really hard at this.
did a good job.
Although I didn't get all of them,
Oops, put that in the wrong spot. Needs to be right up there, a little higher. All right, and same thing down here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's E. All right, E flat. How many sharps is in the key of E flat?
I don't know. I put 3 flats.
No sharps.
No sharps, that's it. This is a trick question.
Don't worry.
Okay, so in E flat, how many flats? 3. And where do they go?
B, E, A.
Yep. Okay, B, E, A. B, E, A. Okay? How about this wonderful key called F sharp? How many flats are in F sharp?
None.
What makes you think there's no flats in F sharps? Are you sure about that?
There's 6 sharps.
6 sharps? That is correct. All right, now F sharp. Now, in an F sharp, it stacks a little bit differently, but it starts just like all the others. So we're going to start on the F, the C, the G, the D, and then we're not going to put it on the A up here because you'd have to draw some ledger lines in. So we're going to put it down on this A down here for the next one. Okay, and then we're going to come back up and we're going to get our E. Okay, F sharp, and of course stacks the same way down in the bass clef. So, I mean, I can throw those all on here. Boom, boom, boom. Then here, and then here. If I can get it in the right spot, and then right there. Okay, so stacks on the same way. Let's see, is there anything else I want to say about that key? Probably not right now. Okay, so B flat. How many what?
I have 2 flats.
How many?
I don't know. 2. Something else.
Two
Forget what
flats.
I said.
Two flats. It's two. B
Oh.
flat is two.
I was just kidding. I was
Okay.
Sure.
So your B flat would look like this and that. This and that. Okay. Key of D. How many flats is in the key of D? You sure about that?
Two sharps.
Yes.
Two sharps. That is correct. All right, so our two sharps. Boom. And boom. And we would do the F and we do the C. Okay? So you guys are doing pretty good. Sounds like you're doing good. Okay, A flat. How many in A flat?
Four flats.
4 flats. Okay. And I'm gonna move on. I'm not gonna draw all of them. I'll show them to you. Actually, I might draw the C sharp. C sharp's kind of exciting. C sharp. How many flats in C sharp?
7.
Zero, what?
7 flats in C sharp?
7 sharps.
Oh,
I
sharps.
was like, whoa, I just got.
That's correct. 7. All right. So they're gonna stack on like this. Here's our F. Here's our A, our C. Here's our G. Here's our D. Here's our A. Then we're going to do an E. And then we're going to do this B right here. Okay?
I think
So
the
that's-
only people that would use that would be the liturgical service at the Catholic Church. No.
I don't think they even use it there. Let me ask you, does anyone remember the key, the trick or the memory hook for how to determine, like if you didn't have this, if you just had the sharps, how do you know what the name of this key is? Anyone remember?
The note, oh, we're supposed to raise our hands.
I don't care.
The note above the last sharp is.
It's the second to last sharp.
It's a half,
Nope.
No, it's
half
second to
step
last flat.
above the last sharp.
Second to last flat is the key, the step above the last sharp is the key, right? That's how I remember this.
It's different for sharps and flats.
Yeah, I think it's mixing up. Okay, so on sharps, let me go to an easier one.
On the last sharp, don't you just go up to the next note and ta-da?
So it's the note above.
It's the last line.
That's what I did.
Plus a half step.
The line above the last.
Right,
sharp.
right. Jordan is right. So this is this here. So we've got F, C, G. So what's the note above that?
Okay,
A.
and there's no sharps, so it's just A.
Right. So if we go here, we have F, C, G, D. What's the note?
There's no
E.
sharp in E, so it's
Right. So if we do this one, it's an F sharp. So what's right above an F sharp? G. Okay, so your sharps, you go from the last sharp and you go to the value above it. Okay? Now flats is a different way of doing it. So on flats, how do you do flats?
Second to last.
That's right. So second to the last would be this one right here. And that is a D flat. So look at that, it's a D flat. Okay? Here is the key of B flat. Second to the last is a B flat. Yes, ma'am.
I have a dumb question.
That's probably not
Um,
done.
for, for the key of F, why is it called the key of F? If it only has one flat.
Why is it called the key of F? Let me think about that.
I don't know, flats or something.
Well, because of the formula. Remember the formula I gave you?
No,
for-
don't make it confusing. I just started to understand some things.
I mean, like, I get that it's B, or I get that it's F, but like, I was just wondering.
So it goes back to the formula of what does it take to make that key. So if I'm on F, that right there is the B flat. Wait, I think I hit the wrong one. There's the B flat. That's why it didn't sound right. So if you start on the note of F, you have to play a B flat to complete the formula for a major scale. That's why. Okay?
Jose's here.
That's all right.
We're all doing it.
If I get stuck, I'm just going to say, Brother Jose. All right. A flat, I think we did A flat, 4 flats, right? 4 flats.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yes.
And we did C sharp. How about the key of B? What's B? How many flats for the key of B?
None.
That's correct.
5 is sharp.
5 sharps. And what would be our 5 sharps? Someone tell me?
F, G, C, D,
F, C, G, D,
A is the last one.
Yeah, very good.
C, G,
Yeah. So, yes. And if you keep your pattern, you can get there. Just know that it's 5. Okay, C flat. What about the key of C flat? How many sharps are flat in the key of C flat?
7 flat.
all flats.
All flat. And how many is all? 7. That's right. It's 7 flats. So let me just draw that up here for you. So we're going to start on our B flat, right? B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, and we just keep building. The pattern just continues. So here's a G flat, there's an A flat, and we need 7, so we need 1 more. So here's F flat. Kind of looks kind of strange, but there's an F flat. Okay, so that's your pattern for that. Okay, G flat. What's the G flat? How many?
6 flat.
Yep, 6 flats. And it'd look just like this without the 7th one. Okay, how many sharps or flats in the key of C?
None.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You're right. Okay, good deal. All right, now, this next one, I want to go through, before we attempt to do this, I actually want to go through some additional material with you that I did not cover. I sat down and started doing this. I was like, oh, this will be a lot of fun. I'm going to go through this, see how quickly I can get through this so I can kind of have a feel for how much time it's going to take. And I started down and I got through the first line, went to the second line, like, well, I did cover tritones. Didn't cover the other name for it. Then I got a little farther, I'm like, ooh, I got to teach on diminished too. So let's talk about some other concepts. If you would, take one of those and pass. So I want to talk about some other concepts in intervals. Okay, so when we start talking about intervals, we have major intervals, we have minor intervals, we have perfect intervals, but we also have something called augmented intervals and diminished intervals. And so you see the definition there. An augmented interval are 1/2 step higher than either a perfect interval or a major interval, okay? And a diminished interval is either 1/2 step lower than a perfect or a minor interval, okay? Now, I drew this chart to try to help to illustrate it. So if you think, here's your perfect, like a perfect 4th or a perfect 5th. If you lower a perfect 5th by 1/2 step, you get a diminished 5th. If you take a perfect 4th and you raise it a 1/2 step, you get an augmented 4th. Okay? Now, on the minor major, so remember, a minor interval is a 1/2 step lower than a major, right? We talked about that last time. So if you take a major interval and you drop it a half step, you become minor. But if you drop it another half step, it becomes diminished. Okay, got that? And then, of course, minor, raise it a half step, it becomes major. Raise a major another half step, it becomes augmented. Okay? Now, this will really come out when we look at some chord structures. That's where you'll really see this. Okay, so here it is on some lines. So you can see it here where you've got the diminished. So the diminished fourth, the perfect fourth, and the augmented fourth in that first line. Now, let me give you just, if you remember when we were talking about how to do these intervals, you count the line, there's 1, the space, that's 2, the next line, that's 3, and then that. So if you count the line that the note is on, and then all the lines and spaces up to the note, then you know that this is a fourth, okay? And then, of course, perfect fourth, in the key of G, this would be a perfect fourth. Okay? So for diminished, you've still got the same number of lines and spaces, except for now, instead of being a C major, it's a C flat. So we've lowered it from the perfect fourth, well, I took my chart off. From the perfect fourth, we've lowered it a half step to a diminished fourth. Okay? Going the other direction. Ooh, you know what? I drew it wrong. This is not right. I did this on the computer. This should be right here. And not that. Okay? So augmented fourth. So you count your lines, 1, and your spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we know it's a fourth. And then it's sharp. So in the key of G, is there a C sharp in the key of G? Key of G.
No.
That is right. So because what note would a C be in the key of G?
C.
C. Yeah. So because this is sharp, we know it's an augmented fourth. All right?
So for the intervals,
Yeah.
you just go by the spaces and lines. Not, because I was always thinking about this, between the B and the C and the E and the F, you got half steps, but those half steps are still a line and a space.
Yep. You count the line the first
So
note
it's
is on,
not
and you count
steps and whole steps. It's lines and spaces.
lines and spaces for the interval number.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so now if we go and we look at our major, minor, diminished, augmented. So here we've got, we'll start from the major third right here. So in the key of G sharp, or if you started on a G sharp, going to, yeah, you're right, F sharp. Starting on an F sharp, going to a C sharp, that is a major third. Okay. Now, if we flat this top note, so by removing the sharp, like we've done on this one here, by removing the sharp, we've turned it into a minor. Okay. So a minor, and then if we go one farther and we take that A and we flat it, so now we've got an F sharp with an A flat above it. Now we've got a diminished third. Okay? And the numbers, remember, if I could do this, the numbers still hold, right? So this is a space, so that's 1. This is a line, that's 2. And this is a space, that's 3. Now, yeah. So we know it's a third, and then it's just a matter of figuring out, is it diminished major or minor or augmented? And you can use your key, or you can say in an F sharp, what what would if you were in a key of F sharp, what would be your note in a major, and it'd be an A sharp, but this is 2 below the A sharp, so you know it's a diminished, 2 half steps below.
So the numbers are determined by spaces and lines. The diminished, minor, major, augmented are determined by the steps, half steps.
Yes.
Okay.
And it all goes back to this formula right here for what a major scale looks like.
So you determine the key by the first note?
Well, it's just a trick. It's a technique to know the interval. So that's the technique that I have. I don't know, Jose, would you have a different technique?
That works about 85–90% of the time. The only problem is when you run into a situation when the bottom note is not a major scale.
Right.
For example, like G sharp, there's not a G sharp major. So it's hard to determine, like, is it a major third or minor third or something like that. Normally in situations like what I would do, like F sharp and A sharp with the major third right there, is if I can take the 2 sharps away, then that gives me a friendlier key, like F major. And then I can try to decide, well, what kind of a third is that? Now, I don't know, I think I know what Brother Jed is saying with regards to using a major scale, because the idea is if the bottom note is your first scale degree, then every note above that is either going to be a major interval or a perfect interval, hands down. So like, right there in the example that he has looks like a C major scale. So like a C to a D major second, because a D is a second above a third, above a C. A C to an E is a major third, because it is a third above a C. And it's major because it's part of the major scale. Fourths, fifths, and octaves are always going to be perfect. So a C to an F is going to be perfect, C to a G perfect, so on and so forth. And if you base it off a major scale, then it's always going to be either major or perfect. The alterations occur if the difference of the note on top is either a half step above what should be original to a major scale or below what's original to a major scale, if that makes sense. So I usually tell my students to line it up to the major scale, and if it doesn't work, like G sharp major, for example, then change it to like a G major and everything else, and then line it up to that, and hopefully it should work.
Yeah, good tip to take off the 2 sharps. The other thing that I was, as I was thinking of what other technique could a person use, if you can visualize the keyboard, and if you visualize the keyboard, that's another way, F sharp, G sharp. So that's another possible way. Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
This is probably a dumb question, but the minor, is it a minor because it starts with a sharp?
No. It's the number of half steps that are in here. So in a major, okay, so if I go, let me get this pen off, I don't want to use a pen. If I look at this major scale here, okay, so if I look at this major scale, here to here, I've got two steps, right? So this right here should look like a 1/2. So the formula is whole step, or step, step, half step. Actually, you can't see me point. Let me point this way. So between the 1 and the 2 is a step, or 2 half steps, because on the keyboard, you can see that there's a black note in between the C and the D. So that's a whole step. So between the C and this black note is a half step. Between the D and this black note is a half step. So 2 half steps, and that would be a whole step. So the formula for a major scale is step, step, half step, because you see there's no black key there. Half step, 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 half step. So that's what we're trying to illustrate with this. That's the formula for a major scale. And so the distance for a major third is 2 steps or 4 half steps.
Okay, what about the minor?
Minor, then you would simply take away a half step, right? Because that's what we said our definition was. So instead of an E, you'd play an E flat in the key of C. So it'd be C to E flat.
Oh,
Just
okay.
want short, basically.
Okay, major.
And now this is where it can get confusing for people. If we're diminishing it, you literally play the D with the C. But remember, it's how it's notated. It's not necessarily 100%. It's going to sound what the keyboard plays, but it's going to write as this right here. Only, I would say that'd be on a C. So you'd have a C. Let me see if I can put that in there. So the way that would look, if I was to diminish it, so you'd have your C, and then you would have, because it's a third, I made that a little bit big, but you'd have a double flat. So you'd double flat that note. And that would be a diminished third off of the key of C. Smiles, and it's like, I'm trying to decide. Does that make sense? All right.
Clear as mine.
All right. So let's go a little farther. Let's work through some of these as a group. So let's just work these as a group. So I don't think this is in your handout. This is just something I thought it'd be good for us to work through this as a group because I thought it would be helpful to go through this. So.
It's the second to last.
Yeah, it's a trick. Okay, so.
You want us to work it together, so.
So if I,
What's that?
I want to make a guess.
Okay,
Is that a perfect fit? Because they're both flatted, and you take them away, they're still a perfect fit.
yeah,
Oh,
very good. Okay, so what's the freebie, or what's the real easy thing to determine? The number.
sorry.
The number.
So you count your numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you know it's a fifth. That's an easy thing. Then you look at it and you say, okay, it's a C flat, got a G flat up above. Perfect fifth.
Do they cancel each other out?
Well, when Jose said, you take them away.
You could do that.
It's still
If you wanted to, if you wanted to, you could do what Jose said, and that's a great technique. And that would end up being this note and this note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we know that in the key of C, that's a perfect fit. Okay? Let's look at this next one. What would we call this? Oh, good. Who said that?
I didn't say it loud because I thought I was wrong.
So it doesn't count.
Very good. It is a minor 7. Okay? Let's go to our next one.
I guess I heard it.
Anyone have an idea on this one?
Perfect 4.
Right. Oh, what about this next one? Is that one scary?
Is that a major second?
Yeah.
Major second?
Major second.
Yeah. Okay. How about this one?
Major third?
Okay. Do you remember what this sign was?
No.
Okay.
Double sharp.
Double sharp. So this note is a double sharp. So what might that be?
It's,
No.
is it a minor?
Well, first off, what interval number is this?
2.
Yes, it is a 2. So that's one half of it. What's the other half?
It is over?
You said it.
Can I ask?
But it's only.
Oh, because it
it's
was
more than
minor.
one half step.
And then you yeah, but
I
it
guess
was
it's-
minor, so then you have to step it up, it's major. Then you have to step it up again, and it's augmented. Can I use this for my quiz? I know. It's probably pretty
Okay.
good. Just do it.
Can we?
How about this one? How about this one? What is this?
Diminished fit?
Yeah.
Because it's so different.
Good job, Becky.
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought you failed music.
Yeah.
I
well,
did.
Yeah, what's going on?
Many times.
I
You
know.
get sandbagging against
I'm
us?
gonna call my professor.
Call your professor.
Actually, I think he blocked me on Facebook. It was that bad.
Okay. All right. So how about this one? How about this bad boy here?
I don't know, give me a second.
Major second? No.
Minor.
See, I had to lose sometime.
What type? What? Okay. So what's the interval number?
2.
Two.
Okay. Good. So now you just got to figure out diminished, minor, major, augmented.
It's not
Can
major?
you play it? Can you play it?
Why isn't it major?
No. It's that'll. Okay. If I play this, it might sound like something that it's not on this. So we just gotta be careful on that.
Well, if you take away the sharps,
Mhm.
make it say
Major second?
major second.
Why is it? Why is it not? What? Why isn't it?
E to F, if you look on the piano.
Oh,
it
exactly.
doesn't have a left in between.
Oh.
I'm an idiot.
So
I should probably look at the notes.
Really a half, isn't it?
We're going strong.
So the count the lines
So
and
it's
spaces
minor
is an
because.
So if you're doing the subtraction, you're subtracting it. Oops, it would be E to F,
Also, if you know the F sharp major scale.
or the F sharp major scale.
Don't forget that.
So what do you guys think this is?
minor second.
It is a minor second is the actual answer.
Second.
Okay.
That's a lot of fun.
All right. Here's an interesting one
It is?
right here. So what? So
5.
It's a 6 and it's
it is 6.
it's not minor.
It is not minor.
Augmented 6.
So if it's not.
How confident are you of that?
It's always major. except for it's not.
97, 40%.
No, 5, 6.
Wait,
It's
what
a
makes
6,
that one
augmented
augmented?
six.
Okay.
So
I thought I understood this. Now I'm confused.
It's an augmented 6 because the
It would be a perfect
top
6.
note is up a half step.
Right.
There is no
Wouldn't that
perfect
just make
6.
it?
Oh.
Oh, wouldn't that just make it 9?
what's that?
What? Okay. Never mind. Go on.
Okay.
I got it.
Next one. What's the next one?
Perfect for
Perfect.
Sure.
4.
You guys sure?
That's what I think. You're
Yes,
probably gonna tell me I'm wrong.
4s are always perfect.
No, they could be.
They can be
Remember,
augmented.
they could be augmented or diminished. I mean, not diminished. Diminished. Diminished.
Making sense.
Diminished.
I think it's.
Okay.
Ignore the-
Here's an interesting one. What might this be?
That's 7 sticks.
Okay. 7 is correct.
7.
Is it a perfect 7?
No,
No,
it can
it's not a
happen.
perfect 7.
No, there is no such
Is
thing.
it a major 7?
Major, minor, augmented, or diminished? I mean diminished. I'm stuck on diminished. Sorry.
Well,
Sorry.
it's not a major.
So you could
No,
say, you could do the subtraction method.
perfect fits. Yeah.
So what would an E to a D be?
C base classes.
Oh, that's right. Am I in base clef? Oh, yes. Good. Thank you.
Oh,
So I'm in base clef.
I thought we were-
That looks like an angry face.
It's a G.
So what is this? What type of 7? Anyone got an idea?
Yes.
No.
I know you do.
I don't know how to know.
I don't know how to know on
I
this
know
one.
not.
That's a really good way of putting it.
I know it's 7 because I can count the lines and spaces.
Yeah?
There you go, 25%.
But then I don't know how to know.
Okay, so it's actually a minor.
And how do we know?
Because it's a half step below a major 7.
And how do you know?
How do you?
Yeah.
Because that's a half step below a perfect.
That's that.
That doesn't. That's not on this flow chart.
Okay, so let's look at this.
We did not write that.
Let's look at
How
this.
do we know? That's what I want to know.
So let me get this where I can draw. So what note is this? We're in bass clef, so what note is this note right here, the bottom?
That's a G.
Okay, you are right, that's a G. Oh my goodness. All right, so what note is this one?
F.
Okay,
Sharp.
G, yes, and it is F sharp in the key of G. We'll use Jose's subtraction method. Okay, we're going to take off our sharps. In the key of G, what is the F?
F.
What note is the F in the key of G? How many sharps does the key of G have?
There's 1.
And what is that sharp?
It's an F sharp. Oh boy.
So if we subtract the sharps off of this, where we're in the key of G, and we got an F in the key of G, that's a half step below a major 7. What does that mean?
It's a minor 7.
Minor. Yeah, it's a minor.
Wasn't it also true that since you're 2 half steps below a perfect 8, that you're a minor 7?
That's also
That is true.
That's what I was saying.
Ah, I got it. All right, that's good. That's good.
these are different.
Okay, let's do our next one. What is this?
7.
Okay,
It's a 7 of some kind.
it's a 7. What type of 7?
Of course. So, is it a minor 7?
Oh, yeah.
Don't know. You guys tell me.
D.
No,
Yeah. Because it's an F.
Is it
who said D?
G.
D finish.
Or
Why do you say that, Courage?
It's a half step below a half step.
You're just guessing. 1 in 4 chance, okay? All right?
Is
The
it
minor.
1 in 4 chance that it's a half step below a minor
3-5
7?
chance.
It is a half step below a minor 7, yeah.
It's a
So it's a
diminish.
diminished 7?
Yeah. It's a- You had a 1 in 4 chance and you got it right.
I got a question about that one.
Yes.
Does that also make it a major 6?
No, it sounds like
No.
minor 6.
It sounds like 1, but it comes down to how it's written on your score, right? So we're doing intervals on the score, but you're right, it will sound like 1.
If we were in a different key, it might be a major 6.
Well, or if it was, no, not really. If it was written differently, it would be that. So you'd have to write it differently. To be a major 6, you'd have to do this. Then it would be.
Sharp.
Let's think about this.
Because it's the same note.
Yeah,
right?
that's right. It needs a sharp. I gotta remember, I'm in the bass clef. Or actually, there you go. That's what it should be. That would be a major. Okay? But you're right. So that's why you gotta be careful about just, it was said, play it on the piano. You gotta be careful because it may not quite be the same thing of what's written here. Okay, let's do this one.
Perfect fit.
It's a 5.
Yes, it's a 5.
It's not perfect.
That part's easy.
I did
Is it
finish
on
chapter
my
5.
not perfect.
Take the sharps.
Okay, remember,
So you can't take the
Only when
sharp
it's
turn.
down.
well, hang on, just remember this. Okay, we're in bass clef. That should make it easier.
No.
So this is a, what note is this?
The lower,
B.
that's a B.
It's a B.
Sharp.
Yes, it's a B sharp, and what note is this?
F.
F.
Sharp.
Sharp, that's right, it's an F sharp. So a B,
B sharp is also
Oh.
a C.
yes. Okay.
So it's like, it's an augmented.
It's not augmented.
I'm
Not tritone.
I'm not getting this.
What is it, Jose?
No, wait, no, don't. I want you to think it through, think it through.
Word means.
Okay,
My mom said, didn't it?
go. Go, let's see. Will this help us? No, it will not. Yes, it will. It'll help us. There's a G sharp. So in a G sharp, what would the F be in the key of G sharp on your circle of fifths? Go to your circle of fifths.
Jet, where's the G sharp coming from?
Oh, I'm sorry. B sharp. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm thinking treble when I meant to think bass. Okay, so it's a B sharp, and this won't help you. So,
I don't know.
Just
all right,
That's-
I'll give it to you.
I don't know how to do it.
It is actually a diminished fifth.
Why? How?
Didn't you write that down?
How do you come to that answer?
Okay, so basically, I know it's a fifth. And if I were to count the steps, so this is a B. If I do the takeaway method, so F, that would make that an E. Ooh, the takeaway method looks kind of strange on this. If I add to it, make this a C, and then no, that doesn't work. Oh, I see why, yeah. So what happens is you'll see that either way you go, if you go up, or if you go up one to a C, and then you go up one here, you have to flat that to be the same note, because there's a black key in there. And then if you take this away, this becomes a B. And if you take this away, this is actually literally an E, right? Or an F, that's an F. That's an F and a B. And that would be a diminished fifth, F to B. Does that make sense?
I'm not.
Jose, you got a better way to explain?
So in a B major scale, you have F sharp, right? So remember that fifths are normally perfect, right? And in a major scale, your intervals are either major or they're perfect. So from a B to an F sharp, that's a perfect fifth, right? Notice that it's not, it's from that B to F right there is just a regular F. So you went down a half step from a perfect fifth to a diminished fifth to be a F.
So in your takeaway method, where you
Yeah.
take away the sharps and flats, you then have to look at
What it is after you've taken the
what it is
sharps.
after you've
Yeah.
taken the sharps away.
Right, because what happens is if you have a B sharp, there's no scale for that.
Right.
So sometimes if you got your scales in front of you where you can base it off of your scales, you're gonna look at your lower note as the scale that you're in, and you'll see, you'll take your upper note and you're gonna line it up whether it's in the scale or not. If it's not in the scale and it's a fifth, it cannot be perfect. It's gonna have to either be diminished or augmented. And the way for you to figure it out is what kind of alteration you had to do to go from an F sharp to an F. You had to go down. So you had to go from perfect to diminished. Does it make sense? Ish.
I think that.
I have
And
verbal.
verbally it makes sense.
Basically, the way that I show my students is I show physical intervals, and so when I go from a B to an F sharp, it's not an F sharp anymore, it's a F. So I made the interval actually shrink. So now it becomes diminished.
Yeah. I follow you verbally.
Right.
All right.
You wake up in the middle of the night, you get it.
I get it.
I got a question.
Okay, what's your question?
Do people involved like C sharp and E sharp? Is that the whole thing to do?
It can be. It can be. It depends upon the music. You know, it can be.
Okay.
And especially when you start in chords, you can have all kinds of accidentals in a chord. Yep. Okay, last one. Last one.
It's a fourth.
Augmented
Is
four.
it an augmented fourth?
I cheated because it's on there.
It is an augmented fourth. All right. You guys feel like you got a better handle on intervals now? Okay, so now I need you to do section C of the worksheet. Not right now, but I want you to do section C as follow-up homework.
But I already did.
I already did it.
Oh, you already did it?
I failed most of it probably, but I did it.
All right, well.
Redo it.
Okay.
All right, Linda, let's go through it. Did everyone do the section C? Because we can.
I didn't do it.
Okay, okay, here's what I would like to do then. Let's talk about section C next week, because I want everyone to have an opportunity to do it. If you'll do it this week, if you won't, then we'll just talk about it this week. But I'd like for people to have that opportunity, rather than just give you the answer, I'd like for you to try to figure out those intervals. Because the best way to do this is the practice. You know, you just practice figuring them out. And I suppose if you're truly lost, Wednesday night, hit me up after church. Or if Jose be so gracious to do it, hit Jose up, hit one of us up.
That's so much fun.
And we'll help you, or at least I'm sure Jose will help you. I know he will. Yeah. So hit one of us up. Okay. All right. I want to do a little bit of review. So what are the all the lines here? Give me the lines again.
Every good boy is
Every good boy does E-fudge.
EGBDF. EGBDF.
Spaces are F-A-C-E.
FACE. All right. Bass clef.
Good boys do fine always.
Okay. Good.
Always fine.
What'd you say? Fish?
All colors.
Every good boy deserves fish.
Yeah.
You just did a fish sign.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. Okay, and what are the spaces?
Face. Well, in the
All cows eat grass, or all cars eat gas?
Eat
Gas. Okay.
oh,
All right. Let me look. I think I did want to review a couple of concepts here. Let me go back to my original. Okay. Ledger lines.
I'm gonna cheat you back there.
Exact wrong answer.
Where are they at? They're in here somewhere.
Page 1.
Page 1, ledger lines. There they are.
Down a little.
Yeah, there's a bunch of ledger lines there. I was hoping there should be another one. Here it is, right there. Ledger lines, you can see how we can extend a staff by using ledger lines. And we just stack them on, put a little line there, keep going. And we can extend it to the low end, extend it to the high end, okay? Using ledger lines. All right. Let's see what else I want to cover here. Trying to get you ready for your quiz. Okay. Okay. If you remember, there's the concept of half steps and whole steps. Okay? Between the C, oops, got the eraser wrong. Between the C and the D, right here, that's a whole step. But between the C and the F, that's a half step. Now that's in the key of C. This is a half step because there's no black note between it. And then D to E, that's a whole step. And remember, we kind of covered the sharps and flats already. Double sharp is this little X. Double flat is this double flats. And then a natural cancels the accidentals.
I have a question.
Yes.
In a major scale, no matter where you're starting at, the third and fourth note will always be a half step, right?
That is correct.
And the fifth and
Yep.
seventh,
Right
eighth.
here. Here's your formula. So this is your half step is going to be right here on a major scale.
And then the minor, the half steps will be in the note 2 and 3 and 5 and 6.
It'll depend on the type of minor for your higher end, but on it, the half step will be between the 2 and 3 on the lower end of the scale. Okay, so this is your formula for a major scale. Your half step is always going to be between 3 and 4 and 7 and 8. Same here. So here is an E major. So it's got its half step here and half step there. Okay? Whoops, come back.
Well, all crazy.
Okay, now on the minor, and on the minor, here's your okay, so depending upon the type of minor, right, we've got relative. So, by the way, my textbook actually called it pure. From when I was studying this, believe it or not. I mean, I just was like, wow. I knew I got it from somewhere. Okay, so on a relative minor, you're always going to have your half step here between 2 and 3, and you're always going to have your other half step between 5 and 6. Okay? It's always that way on a relative. Harmonic minors are a little bit different. So you've got, and all of your minors, you'll see the half step between 2 and 3, okay? Even melodic. But what you do in the higher notes is different. So you've got a half step here with 5 and 6, but now you're going to do a step and a half between 6 and 7 and a half step here. Okay? So you got a bigger step here because you got a step and a half. And that's on your harmonic. Okay? And it's the same formula. It doesn't matter what your starting note, whether it's starting notes A or G or whatever, it's always the same formula. Half step between 5 and 6, step and a half between 6 and 7, so that's the big one, and then half step between 7 and 8. It's always the same. Melodic is going to be same. Going up, okay, so this is kind of an interesting thing about the melodic. Going up, it's half step between 2 and 3, and then half step between 7 and 8. And then it descends the same as the relative. So it's going to come back down this way. So it's going to go up one way and come down another way for a melodic. I need to change that note. Okay. Does that make sense?
I think so.
Okay. Chromatics, just that. Chromatic just goes C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F. I mean, you just play every note right there. So ascending, you can see that there. Okay, the only thing I really want you to know about modes is it's another way to color your music. And I was going through our library, and I got really excited. Wondrous Love is in Dorian. So if you want to know what Dorian sounds like, think about this piece. What wondrous love is this, oh my soul, oh my soul. What wondrous love is this, Oh my soul. So see how that sounds? It's got a more of just a rich sound, more of a different sound from the others. And that's because what's happened is it's in Dorian mode. So Dorian, if I were to show what Dorian does, Dorian would shift the pitch. Instead of doing a C scale, like the C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, it would be the same key signature as a C scale, but it would play it on D, E, F, A, B, C, D. So this, oops, this would be C Dorian, see? And it's got a little bit different sound, and that's all I want you to know. All I want you to know about modes is it's a way to have different sounds. Just like if you were to do a minor like A minor, whoops, A minor is going to run from here to here on all the white keys.
So you're saying that if they did it, the Dorian mode in key of C, there's no flats or sharps?
Correct. If you have a C key signature and you're playing in Dorian mode, you've shifted the pitch up one step.
Okay.
And that's true regardless of key. I've only got it here just for the key of C. And like I said, all I want you to know is these are techniques that can be used as you do music or as you try to get a message across in music. You can use minor, like a minor key. If you're talking about sin, maybe you want to sing that in a minor key. You know, maybe you sing about sin in a minor key to give it more of a darker sound. And then when you sing about salvation, maybe you take it up to a major key. Or maybe you take it up to even something more brighter than that, like a Lydian. So just some different techniques. You know, okay, let's see. We did cover intervals, so we've covered key signatures and your circle of fifths, and I think that's it. Did anyone actually try this website here?
Yes.
Excellent. What'd you think?
Well, the one part I did was fine, and I didn't understand the rest of it.
It kept doing the same things for me over and over, and I'm like, I already did them. I just did them.
Repetition. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was annoying because I wanted to move on.
Oh. Well, it's repetition. It helps you, you know, the repetition. Remember, in choir, I always say repetition is our friend. So the repetition, even though it might do some of the same ones over and over again, it just helps you to get that solid in your mind. You know, oh, that's this, that's that, oh, that's this. So the repetition is helpful. Okay. So for next week, for Module 1, I'd like for you to finish the section C. And what we will do is we'll go through that, and then we'll move on. Now, I have, let's see, what time is it?
8:05.
It's 8:05? Oh, it's a lot later. Oh, there's a clock. Let's take, I guess we won't do much on the other topic. Okay, let me give you the quiz. I would like for you to take the quiz. Actually, the quiz is over. I think the quiz is over. Wait, no. Got to figure out where the quiz is. Here's the quiz. So let me give you the quiz. You've got your choice. You've got your choice of either taking a break before you do it or take your break after you do it. So it's a pretty simple quiz. I don't think it'll be that hard. And I believe we've covered everything you need for this.
Ain't gonna make a difference for me. I'm gonna get the same grade.
If I choose, you get
If not before or after, don't matter.
Find your own
Do you want to play
pencil.
it before, but I can like try to stuff better from what he just
Well, this guy was really bad, but I got old.
I think I need to go home too.
You need to go home.
Yeah, 5 minutes ago. So I wanted
Watch
to
it.
keep the
Oh, I didn't get myself one.
Are you really leaving?
Yeah, I gotta.
Okay.
I gotta be at 3:30. I gotta. Oh, because I'll be leaving right.
All right, okay.
Sorry, good luck, everybody.
Is one or two?
I need a pencil.
Do you want one?
Do you have a pencil?
There is a whole thing of pencils right over here.
Can we do it?
Oh wait, there's some over here. Those are colored pencils.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you a pen, because I'm not gonna make any sense.
Wow.
Maybe mine red pen.
Thanks,
That way you don't know what's wrong.
Oh.
I love these pencils. This is the best kind.
I can't remember.
Yes.
I
See, that's all I know.
It's amazing when
Excuse
you're
me,
passionate
just walk
about
through
a
your
pencil.
time. I'm a teacher.
My life. Oh, it's such a good time.
Here we go.
Is it open book?
You can use your circle of fifths if you like. I'll let you use your circle of fifths. So for those of you that are online, we're working through the quiz on the pitch module. Don't sweat the last one. Just When when you're done, go ahead and take a break if you want. Once you're done, and that'll let everyone else have time to finish theirs. And then, yeah, we're going to grade them together. Yeah. Courage, are you done? No?
That could be good or bad. Sure does that quick. Done?
No.
You can cheat off me.
Done, Mercy? Good. That didn't.
That's all I'm.
We'll discuss it.
How many do we have to get right to pass? What? How many do we have to get right to pass? 3 out of 20. There's only 15. Yeah, there's only 15. I mean, like, they have, like, multiple parts.
Yeah, some of them have multiple answers.
How do you write diminished second?
Oh, which?
Diminished second.
D2.
Where do you write it on the? How do you write it on the lines?
Oh, on the lines? Just be like a space and then a line, and then you gotta make sure you got the right number of flats in there. Is everyone done? Still working?
Notice I didn't use this at all.
Which
All
is
right.
probably one of the moments
Okay,
you think after
okay.
yourself.
I was
All right.
trying.
Andrew, how you doing?
Do you have a nice night?
Okay, Amber, you're done? Excellent, excellent. Everyone's, I think we got one person still working. All right.
Issue have is time for us cool weather people to enjoy our time. I go to Florida.
Yeah, when you said it was.
Well, I'm running out of time.
Yeah. Nuts, absolutely nuts. I'm just burning, I'm trying to be burning. It's so quiet.
We don't need to keep our house at 78. 78?
That's the way to.
Tell everybody there. Keeps ours at 68.
Who does?
I would for.
72 to 74 usually.
72 to 74.
Done? Okay, all right. We are out of time to take any more break, but let's go ahead and let's grade these. I would like for you to grade them in such a way that I know what was your original answer, so, or put an X if you got it wrong or something, because I do want to know, I want you to put your names on these and then hand them in to me, because I want to know where people are at as far as comprehension of the material, okay? So that's part of the reason for the quiz. It's for me to know where you guys are at, right? You know. Okay. First one, number one. What type of interval is that?
Second.
Second.
That is correct.
Thank goodness.
So I'll downhill from here.
That was an easy one, actually.
Okay. Next one. Which two intervals are shown below? All right, good. Excellent. Okay. What interval is this? A fifth. Remember, you count the line the note is on, or the space that it's on, all the way up to the line that space
I
it's
haven't failed yet.
on. Okay. Number 4.
It's 0.
Which ones are the minor seconds?
The first one,
Yep.
Third one?
the second one,
Yes, the second one.
the,
Sixth
will
one.
that be the seventh one?
I forgot the
Three,
first
four,
one.
5, 6, 7. I don't know why I don't have the pen thingy here.
Tap it. You just tap it with your finger. Just once.
No, the pen, tap it.
I must be in a different mode. Okay,
Alright.
so it is
It
is
E to F and
this one here, E to F,
and B to C,
this one,
right?
E to F, and that.
Yeah.
So it's those three.
Yes.
This one.
All right, she got it. This one, this one,
So
and this one.
Alright, I'm good so far.
Okay, moving on.
I don't know why.
So now we're looking for major thirds. So where are all the major thirds in this?
I read that as mine. Would it be the even the last ones? I got
Maybe
it.
you'll still get some right.
No.
I
Two.
literally did all of them.
Yes.
And number 3 because I'm
4
Yes,
and 6.
yes.
loser.
But I circled all of mine. So I got it.
I got one right.
All right. Consider the scale of C major if we start a new scale using only white notes on the second
Oh.
note of the C major. Which mode is that?
Dorian.
Yes. It's Dorian. Okay.
D for Dorian. The rest of them, you gotta come up
All right.
with something else. 'Cause it doesn't-
What note is this one right here? In the bass clef with 5 sharps.
G sharp.
Yes, it is G sharp. Okay. I didn't really talk much about it. I talked about A minor in respect to C a little bit today, and I did talk about relative minor last time. What is the relative minor of B major?
G sharp. G sharp.
I got that. I didn't even look.
Looked at the circle.
Because it's
gonna be
3
second.
steps down, right? No, right? Yes.
It's a minor third down. So if you go a minor third down,
Okay. Well,
or
we're looking at-
a major 6 up, it
All that before I cheated.
Stop it. Don't cheat me.
I didn't say you could.
I did cheat though, because I wanted, but I still got the answer right.
It
wasn't cheating.
If I ever had to take a test, I would draw out a circle down a regular circle.
Okay. What is the 6th note in the first bar called? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You really like G sharps on this, by the way. They were like all over the place.
Okay. What is the,
Yeah,
Wait.
it's a G major.
wait.
Yes.
Thank you, thank you.
Be quiet.
Thank you. It is not a G. Look at this.
There's a sharp in the thingy.
It is right.
Accidental.
It is right here.
So close.
No.
Amber, good job.
You won't wait.
Thank
That was
you.
too long,
Thank you.
Amber.
All right. It is a G natural.
That was a trick question.
I quit.
Now our pianist should have got that. Our pianist should have all got
Her
that. You know
fingers,
that.
Mom, she can't play right now.
Okay.
That's my brain.
This is almost the E major scale. It has one mistake in it. What's the mistake on this?
C.
Note number 6.
What's wrong with note number 6?
To be sharp.
C sharp.
That is correct.
That should be
Better.
purple.
Okay?
I know, so far on
All right. What is the relative major to E flat minor?
G flat.
G flat.
See, my sister wants.
All right. What scale is this?
G harmonic minor.
Yes. What gives it away?
Step.
Step.
And then.
Is that right there?
No,
Yeah.
it is one sharp.
That gives it away right there. Okay? What two key signatures does this key signature represent?
F sharp major,
G flat.
D sharp minor.
D minor. D sharp?
D sharp minor.
D sharp minor, F sharp.
G flat.
Oh.
Maybe I know.
Okay?
Wait, what's circle?
Which of these key signatures represent the G sharp minor?
Four.
The last one.
The last one. Okay? Now I'd be interested to see how this one comes out. What is the best explanation of the term key in music? This is a thought provoker. Anyone got an answer?
I said the last one.
All of
Two.
them.
All of them. No.
I said
I said the
four.
last one.
Anyone, any other opinion?
I don't want to tell you what I said.
That's what I was actually thinking was the best answer.
All right.
Okay. So, yes, ma'am.
13, couldn't it also be
Oh,
G
you
flat?
haven't seen mine.
So basically, if I pay more
I
attention.
pretty
Oh, I see.
So down this one, I remember.
Never mind.
Yeah, it's sharps. It's all sharps.
Thank you.
Yes. All of the flats in that one are wasted. That's just
Yeah.
wasted ink.
I fell for it.
All right. How'd you do? How'd everyone do?
Better than I thought.
You got 2 wrong? That's not bad. That's passing. All right, put your name on it, hand it in. I want to see where you guys are at.
If I
have a
rewrite some of the
question.
questions, I get them perfect.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have an extra these last pages so I can
Extra
chart
last
over
pages. I think so.
properly?
I think so. We'll check that afterwards. So I can get your papers.
You put mine on the bottom drawer.
I know better.
That's Jose's.
Are you? I was gonna ask.
I'm gonna use Jose's for the key. Jose's will be the new key.
Oh, I should have.
All right, did I have them all? All right.
Wait, and Amber.
Oh, and Amber's. Oh, and I'll take both at once. All right. Guys, I tell you what, music is one of the neatest things to study. It's a lot of fun to do. In heaven, we're going to be doing a lot of music. So, just,
Yeah, but I would have to learn all this and
Yeah.
I already know it.
yeah, that's probably true. All right, any questions?
Oh, extra.
Any other questions?
Here's the extra.
Extras? Okay.
And here's some more extras.
Okay, I'll take those. All right. Put those there for now. Put that there for now. All right, well, let's dismiss in prayer. And then let's remember for your homework, I want you to go to that website for Module 1. I want you to do those exercises. Do those because that'll help you to get that quick thought process or that quick retention. You know, no different than when you had to learn how to add 2 plus 2, right? Everyone in here knows 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. Or 1 plus 1 is 2. It's the same thing, only what you want to do is you want to have that type of recall on musical stuff. Okay, so if you go to the website and then do the worksheet C, we'll go over that briefly at the start of next week, and then we'll start rhythm in the next session. Okay? All right, let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this evening. We thank you for the desire to learn more about music and to become better church musician by the people that are here. We just pray that you would help each one to grow in their musical abilities as well as to grow in their spiritual walk with